Okay, finally I'm able to make an actual update video for Skillz. It's been kind of a quiet one lately, but now we finally have some juicy news to go over, so let's get started. So I woke up and I saw this article. Skillz announces private offering of $300 million of senior secured notes. Now I know everyone gets so scared whenever people are offering these new things because they think they're being diluted as shareholders, okay? But this is a non-convertible senior note, okay? So what that means is that this is just sheerly debt. See, usually these notes are actual convertible senior notes, which means that, you know what, they're asking for money, but instead of actually just getting cash at the end of it, they're actually able to cash out in stock, which dilutes existing shareholders. This is not one of those times. This is a non-convertible note, which means that this is just purely debt, and we'll talk about why they're taking on debt, because that can also be a scary thing, but we'll clear some of that up. But the fact that it's a secured note means that if anything were to happen in this company in terms of like bankruptcy and insolvency of the company, that these people, the private investors that are going to give them this $300 million, would get paid out first before shareholders. Now, sure, that is a little bit more risky to us, but I'm not planning on this company going bankrupt at all, so it's not really concerning to me. The fact that I'm really excited for is the fact that we're getting $300 million to go after strategic investments. Like, look what they say here. This offering bolsters the company's already strong balance sheet and increases the company's financial flexibility to take advantage of strategic opportunities. They actually go on to say, Skillz intends to use this net proceeds from the offering for general corporate purposes, which may include potential investments in or acquisitions of other companies, products, and technologies that Skillz might identify into the future. Now, they might have already identified this already, but they're not going to say that to us, okay? They probably can't. There's probably some NDA on, some of these acquisitions that they're actually going after, but how have they done this in the past? That's the really important part. You remember whenever they acquired their actual ad tech platform, Arky? That was $150 million. This was to get better pricing on their advertisements and just take over the space, sort of make it a big ecosystem for them, right? Because their biggest part, and the reason why, a bunch of investors are really worried about Skillz is the fact that they put too much into advertising. Arky is supposed to lower that cost by a ton. Then next, the fact that they put in an actual $50 million into a strategic investment into Exit Games. This was to actually get access to the Photon engine. It's really hard whenever a stock is going down to realize as a long-term investor the exact reasons why you're buying the stock. This is why I made the 28 reasons to buy Skillz, so then you wouldn't forget, right? That's exactly what I do, right? I make a thesis for a video, and if I ever feel worried, I read over these things. Has any of these things changed? No? Okay, well then I'm going to continue to invest. Other investor sentiment of the stock does not change the company's value. If you are a long-term investor, you have to look at these stocks like they're literal companies that you own, right? And like Warren Buffett always says, okay, in the short term, the stock market is a voting machine. In the long term, the stock market is a weighing machine. But you have to remember that Andrew Paradise, okay, his compensation structure for this company is based on the actual stock performance, okay? So he's not going to dilute shareholders or do anything like this because that's going to affect the price of the stock. And then evidently, it's going to affect the person who owns most of this stock more than anyone, the actual CEO of the company, right? I'm not worried that people that don't know what the company is doing are worried about the company. Who knows most about this company? Okay, the insiders, right? The chief revenue officer, Casey Chafkin, I apologize if I'm not saying your name right, purchased $1 million worth of shares in Skillz stock, down at around $11 a share. Then Harry Salone, another insider in the company who would know most about this company, bought another $1.2 million worth of this company. And then the CEO, Andrew Paradise, bought another $5 million worth of this company, all at around $11 a share. Today, it's even lower than that. Does that mean in just 1 month that they've all been proven wrong? No. The price of the stock does not actually depend on the actual, performance of the company. Why, if someone like Andrew Paradise was so financially, dependent on this one stock, okay? He's not diversified at all. He has his whole compensation structure, all of his bonuses, his salary and everything, all based on this one company. And he knew it was failing. In his heart of hearts, he knew it was failing. He would put another $5 million down buying the stock. I just don't believe it. And yes, it's illegal to trade with insider information, but if your options are coming up to purchase a certain amount every single month and you get a yes or no whether you want to purchase these options, and you know that you have big deals coming up, you might not disclose why you're buying the stock, but it's in your head. You're going to be buying off of great news. And people like Andrew Paradise, I think, know, they are having some great deals coming up, and we don't know about them publicly. But there's a reason why these people that are so financially dependent on this company continue to buy in. Think about what's coming up in 2022, okay? You have the NFL deals that are supposed to be coming before the next actual season comes out, which is probably one of the biggest brands in all of sports history. You could see an uptick in their games and potentially be the biggest games that they could possibly possibly release is the ones that they're branding with the NFL. Also in 2022, they're planning their biggest geographical expansion that they've ever done into India. Andrew Paradise has been excited about the actual India's platform since he started this company, and also whenever it actually listed going public onto the stock market. Not to mention that Skillz actually hired Vatsal Bhardwaj, who's actually their chief product officer and actually specializes in Indian markets back whenever he worked at Amazon. Like literally in the gaming sector for Amazon, okay, leading the Indian markets, and now he's going to be leading us, chief product officer, okay, and just happens to be right before we go into the Indian markets as well. I mean, this is just all too set up to be absolutely amazing. India's mobile gaming population is growing at twice the speed of the United States, and what is actually valued at $1.8 billion currently could actually be worth around $7 billion just by 2025. So this is a huge opportunity for Skillz, especially that they get to pick and choose what markets they're going to go after that might have the absolute best opportunity for them as a company. So yes, I understand that it's hard to hold a company while it's going down, but that really separates the speculators from the actual long-term real bulls of the company, for which I still am. I still stand very strong in this company. And you know what? I got a whole bunch of people hating on me that I made a selling video, but if you actually watched it, you would see I didn't sell a dime. Okay, I actually bought more, and I'm going to continue to every single time that this stock drops, you know, in these $8 ranges. It's just so cheap. This debt is not diluting investors. There's nothing like this. It's, you know what? I've been saying that Skillz should actually have debt if they really want to go after a faster growth in this market that, you know what, take over a space before their competition gets there. Sure, run, you know, in the negatives. I'm fine with the losses. Get the actual, you know, amount of monthly active users up. Get the amount of paying monthly active users up and let them stay on the platform. That's fine. We've never, ever once, Skillz has never lost a cohort in their entire existence of their company. Once they actually get their 100 or whatever players that join the space, they have never once lost a cohort in this business. That's a real fact. And that the fact that you are not going to bet on this company because they're running in losses, but yet every single people that we start to get on this business, we do not lose. I mean, come on, guys. Let me know what you guys think about Skillz stock in the comments down below. What do you guys think about the debt? Do you think it's a smart opinion? I mean, the stock didn't take too well to it, but I also think that retail traders, whenever they see something that has to do with private notes or anything like this, or debentures or anything like this, that they just get scared and they don't really know what it means, rather than just Googling it, okay? There's no dilution to you as an investor, aside from this, you know, the actual fact that this company is going to take on debt. But if they were to buy another company like Arky for $150 million, why does it matter if it's going to increase our revenue and actually, you know, get us profitable companies and just buying more employees? Why is that a bad thing? Tesla's exploding as a company, right? Look how long that they ran, years and years and years before that stock actually 20x'd. And did they ever take, you know, senior secured notes? 100%. And they did convertible ones that actually diluted the shareholders in the billions of dollars. But yet this company still ended up running up. So have a little bit of faith if you understand the company. If you don't and you're worried about the company because it's going down, it might not be the company for you. You know, you have to understand what you're holding on to. And if you don't, that's a scary place to be. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate a like if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe down below if you want to see more financial content just like this.